So the Syulen just released yesterday, and I see a lot of videos of players getting excited over it, saying things like that it's a great starter ship or even the best starter ship. Well, I don't see that because it has two major flaws, which even the most basic Aurora doesn't have. So if you take the starter pack Aurora, what you can do with the Aurora is, one of my favorite gameplay activities is to do wreck diving, which means I go to a salvage mission, go into the wreck, and the deeper the wreck, the more fun I'm going to have, like the raft, for example. I like to pull out components, extract them from the wreck, and then put them somewhere into the ship. And in the Aurora, you can actually fit it through the airlock. It barely fits, but it does fit into it. Now, if you try that on the Syulen, the airlock door is so narrow that most components you loot cannot actually fit through it. And the second problem is that on the Aurora, you can actually fit a 2x1 SCU box into the cargo grid, which is the Aurora MR. And on the Syulen, you can only fit 1x1 cargo boxes. And this, I think, makes it the most useless starter ship. As in being a versatile ship for different gameplay activities, because it comes down to two things. How large is the cargo opening, or any type of opening to the inside of the ship? And how much stuff you can fit on the cargo grid. And no other ship is that limited in the cargo grid, for example. No other ship is limited to only 1x1 boxes, I think. I think even any other small ship that has a cargo grid, whether it's external or internally, has at least space for 1 or 2 boxes size. And on the opposite end, you have the Drake cutter, which is, I think that's why players love it so much, is because it has this very large cargo opening that's as big as the hull itself in the rear. And you can stuff cargo into it, and you can even stuff things into it next to the cargo grid. And even most other ships that do not have a cargo grid that officially supports a certain cargo, you can still improvise it by stuffing it somewhere else into the ship. Like, for example, the components in the Aurora behind the cockpit. So I think what they should change on the Syulen is make the airlock door wider, so you can stuff some components through it, and allow it to fit at least 2x1 cargo boxes.